Namaste. This is some non-yoga yoga. So please, I hope you have something soft, and I hope you also have something flowy on, that you're not feeling all tight and restricted. Or actually, it doesn't matter if you do feel that way, because by the end of this practice we'll have you all soft and smooth from the inside out. So welcome along. And I'm a sitting duck here. My doggie is definitely going to come and visit, so I'm sure she'll say hello at some stage. So I'd highly recommend. I lit a candle, and I've got my favorite essential oil on, and I recommend some music. So if you can get a playlist started, Facebook and YouTube don't actually like us playing licensed music, so I'm going to be doing this serenade to the inner music. So we'll just start by a little bit of swaying. So I'd really recommend that you just suspend all judgment right now. Just allow this gentle, easeful sway side to side, and just allowing the spine to start to move like a reed in the ocean. So you feel like you're supported on all sides, and that there isn't just maybe a side to side movement, but as the ocean currents would move that seaweed, that it would start to find its own pathway. So really just putting any judgments, any limitations, any ideas, any conceptions that you have about yourself, about how you move, just pop it all on the shelf, and it'll be there if you need to pick it up at the end. But for now, just find this free form movement, just allowing the movement to, that's where music can be really helpful. Start to take it even further, so not just side to side, or if that's all you can muster at the moment, that's totally fine. We are dancing outside the field of right and wrong today. So just taking this movement almost like a 360 degrees, so back behind you and to the left, to the right, above you and below you, and just having this exploratory feel. Not only the spine, but also the neck. So this beautiful, blessed spine of ours has an incredible piece of architecture. I'd really encourage you to close your eyes and dive into this miraculous spine of yours. And as you do that, just feel like you're blessing it, blessing this spine from the inside, thanking it for all the movement and life that it brings. So maybe making the movement a little more dramatic, if you like, by using the hands onto the knees and just allowing yourself to find this free form. And if you're completely uncomfortable and you need a pathway, mind you, 2020 is the finding new pathways, the year of finding new pathways. So, but if you do need a pathway, that's okay. You could circle the torso around and just let the shoulders dip. Or if you're happy carving out a new way in this moment, then go for it. Just find your own unique, beautiful pathway. So I'm such a fan of moving in this way. We'll actually come to hands and knees now. And as you come to hands and knees, you might find that it's a little easier to just explore this, all the little nooks and crannies, and not only take your awareness in there, but start to take love, or maybe it's light, into these darkened areas, like turning on the lights. And that light might be golden, it might be a golden pink light, yellow light. Just welcoming this softness in, softness that can unravel the hardness. All that you've been holding yourself together for yourself, or for another, or for your children, or for society. Just give yourself permission in this practice to let it all go. You don't have to hold yourself together at all right now. Just allow this free form, this exploration to, yes, we're finding new pathways, but just going into those areas with such tenderness, such softness, even with love. The hardest of hearts can melt with love. So I'd invite you to come back to like this Vajrasana position towards the back of your, whatever you've got. And we'll take a few Bhakti Vajrasana movements. So opening out, opening, as much as your wonderful, beautiful spine will allow. And it might be with the breath, but I'd really encourage even the breath to be so soft. Just this really sweet movements about everything, your breath, your movement. Opening out. Maybe it's an inhale, and you can linger here in this opening for a moment. And for me, when I do this Bhakti Vajrasana, I just imagine this cascading light, this waterfall of light coming down through my heart, through my throat. May my words carry the essence of this light. May my heart be filled with blessings of this light, divine light, or whatever it is for you. And then take this into the supreme rest of child's pose. So melting the head down, and we'll take a few of these lunar Namaskars. If you've ever practiced with me, especially on retreat, you'll know that I love this lunar Namaskar. So there's these pauses and deep rest moments. First one in child's pose. And then we slither through and come into this full prostration. So laying on the belly, maybe with the palms facing upwards. And you could go that these hands are maybe giving, maybe they're receiving. What is it that you need in this moment? Or do you have bounty that you could give to another, to a family member, a friend, offer your blessings out to maybe the healthcare workers or even the supermarket. I wonder about the the checkout attendants. I don't think they signed up for this, so sending your blessings to them. And then rising up and come into a Sphinx pose. And in Sphinx, let's just take this figure of 8 symbol. So it's like a side to side movement, and taking it from the base of the skull or root of the skull as you circle around, and even letting your jaw perhaps trace that pathway to separating the teeth, welcoming this softness in, maybe by closing the eyes or at least having a soft gaze, Giving yourself that permission to experience whatever it is that arises in the safety of this practice, coming back and into this Bhakti Vajrasana. Just allow yourself. I think of that, I think it's Saint Teresa who just had this open to the ecstasy of God, of bliss. So opening to that, letting that be so soft and porous, let it all pour in. And coming back and bringing the hands into a namaste, and just pause for a little moment. And we'll take one more of those lunar namaskars, so a little bit of form between the formlessness, so opening out. Let yourself be blown open, blown away by the love, the support of the universe. And then folding and go into that deep rest of child's pose. Pause. And maybe your breath is so soft, yet you're getting all the nourishment that you need. You can slither through and go into that full prostration again. So palms facing upwards, forehead on the earth, and allowing the soft belly upon the earth. The softness to move into the shoulders, and even in the hands, just this receptivity. Maybe a feeling of safety in this moment. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. And the kookaburra's on cue again. Rise up into this Sphinx pose, or you could take Cobra if you wanted to, and rather than just that figure of 8, just allow the head to now go larger into these side-to-side movements, like the crown of the head leading over, and then to the other side, this softness as you do this. And coming back in, let the forehead touch for a moment, this deep bow. And again, just allowing space for whatever you are experiencing to be there, and not need to change it at all as we come back and into this Bhakti Vajrasana. Complete openness, abandon. And coming back into Namaste. Oh, please take care of your neck when you do that. I just go for it as an antidote to looking at my phone too much. So from this place, let's take the hands onto the knees once again, and just have this, rather than a circular movement, just this forward and backwards movement, and start to turn it into this rippling spine. So chin into the chest as you round and come back up, and opening out and sending the chest forward and down. And as you do this, allow your spine now to be like this prayer flag, and maybe in your own softness you can bless, this beautiful practice of metta. May I be happy. May I be healthy. The prayer flags, all the Tibetan prayers are written on the flags, and then the wind picks up these prayers and carries them across the planet. So as you continue with this, maybe you could dare to bless another. Maybe it's your parents or your children. May you be happy. May you be healthy. Or if you still think that you need filling up, you feel that you need to top up your own tanks, I totally get that. So just allow whatever the experience is to be. And for me, getting a little dramatic, I like to add in that Bhakti Vajrasana, so really leaning back and allowing not so much a dramatic wind, but a powerful, supportive breeze to carry those prayers. And then from here, come into hands and knees position, and just start to circle around, circling through the spine, finding that same freedom and ease in your movements. And next time the hips come back, just start to stretch the arms forward and come into Anahatasana, where we're bonding the heart to the earth. So for me, I quite like this, a little bit of movement, like a sway bridge or a swing bridge across a canyon that's going to have a little bit of sway. And as I rock to the side, just lean in and create more opening there. Just this opportunity to defrost, to thaw out those hard areas. And take the right arm and extend it up, opening out. And send that right arm through and just going straight into the twist, reaching that top arm around, maybe holding, maybe not. And I like to even take it a little further and reach the top arm over, but that's entirely up to you. And then crossing the arms over, and it doesn't matter which one's on top, just go for it. Just noticing which one's on top and going into this same pulse. Love it when I forgot to turn it off. Turn it on flight mode. I hope you're still there. So circling the arms around and releasing, let the palms touch overhead, and then take the hands down behind you. You can lift up into an easy camel position, lifting and opening out here. And releasing down. Look, this is entirely optional, but going into Supta Virasana, maybe with some support behind you. If that's not available, then no problem. You can simply stay here, opening out. And as you hold here, there can be this wonderful softening as well. You want to clamp the jaw, but instead just bring an ease, like with your soft breath and soft awareness, an ease into the quads. And then let's emerge and come forward to your hands and knees again. And taking the left arm up and threading that through, reach the right arm up and around and pausing. And again, for me, I do love bringing the arm around towards the foot and the other arm up and over. And then as you come up, you should technically have the other arm on top, but if not, it doesn't really matter. It's really good to remember it's just a yoga pose. And circling around just with this feeling of ease through the body, through the arms. So I'm keeping the arms up overhead here, and if you're able to, going into that waterfall, that Bhakti Vajrasana, and again just letting yourself be filled up. Maybe a golden light streaming in through the crown of the head or through the face or through the heart, and as if the body were empty and that it's like this torchlight just being filling the entire body. And you've got your arms up like a seeking more, drinking more in, thirsty to receive this nourishment. And taking the arms down a few times, embodying this inner radiance. Your true essence is this luminous nature. So let it fill you. And taking the hands into Namaste. And start to rub the hands together and bringing the hands onto the neck and shoulders and starting to massage the neck and shoulders. And leaning forward, use your thumbs to get into these occipital bumps at the dimples at the back of the neck and massaging into these areas. prying open that area at the base of the skull. And making your way up, giving the shoulders a roll, and we'll come to lie down onto our backs. Oh, I contemplated wearing a skirt. I'm glad I didn't. So hugging the knees into the body and simply allowing a little bit of rocking side to side. This way of, if you've been a mother or if you've been a child, you probably know about this rocking, that it's so soothing for a baby to be rocked. So just give yourself that now. Rocking yourself from side to side, being held by the beautiful earth, Mother Earth beneath you, Father Sky above you. Just allowing it all to be yourself, to be held in this space, whatever is going on. You can cross one leg over, so right leg over, and catching hold of the opposite feet, and again continuing with this rocking. And you can massage your feet as you do that. Some of you, if you've got open hamstrings, might like to play with heels touching your hips, to stretching the legs out overhead, and as you rock side to side, just finding those new pathways. That there is no right or wrong. Just opening to the whole unified experience. And notice which leg you've got on top as you then release, and we'll come into a bridge pose, so lifting the hips up and coming into bridge. And rather than just interlacing the fingers behind you, maybe you can come up and use the hands for support here. That may or may not happen. And you might like to lift the legs up, perhaps towards a shoulder stand. It doesn't have to happen like that. And eventually coming back down, releasing and simply swapping the other leg over. So I've got the left leg over, and again welcoming in that rocking, maybe flirting with stretching the legs out, maybe not. This would be a beautiful way to for an evening ritual before bed, assuring yourself sweet dreams. So as you massage your feet, even bringing in a loving kindness there. Thank you, feet. Gratitude, such a superpower, gratitude. Love dispels all fear. So you can then come out and take this, release the legs out, and Just allowing them to rock side to side. Maybe you'll linger in stillness for a little longer, perhaps crossing the leg over and reaching the other arm out. And rather than being hard in your aggressive reaching, just welcome in another quality of surrender, of stillness. Trusting that softness has incredible power to it, so that you can know that a canyon can be carved out by the tiniest trickle of water moving through. So being open to that softness. And switching over to the other side. This invitation to unravel, or to, rather than hold it together, to open up to that ease, that freedom. And then from there you can find Shavasana. If it's time for bed, if you're doing this before bed, then I'd highly recommend just going straight to bed now. But otherwise, taking a few moments, just a few moments in Shavasana, lying still. And take your awareness to the crown of your head and imagine that light, once again, this golden orb of light, maybe like the radiant sun, maybe it's a softer light. And allow the crown of the head to open up to receive this light in. And let that light bring with it exactly the nourishment that you need, the qualities that you need right now. Calmness in the mind, or openness. And continue to let that light stream down the way you'd see the morning light streaming through the trees, down through the body, through the arms, nourishing through the torso, illuminating. It's simply reminding yourself of that inner light that is always there, that maybe has been dimmed through all of this experience. Maybe it has been forgotten in the noise outside of yourself. You've forgotten to turn inside, to be illumined from inside. So as you remember that now, remind yourself of that inner light. Just go ahead and imagine a control room, and there's panels with knobs and levers, and that one says inner light, one is labeled inner light. And you can go ahead and take your imaginary hand to that knob or lever and turn it up to whatever you can handle in this moment. let your brilliance, your inner luminous quality, really let it shine, let it rip at the moment. And maybe it's not entirely comfortable for you, and you wouldn't be able to go out into the day like that. And so it would be totally fine to, after you've remembered what this inner light and inner brilliance is like, that you can then maybe turn it down to something that's a little more manageable for you right now. And just allow this feeling of light to permeate every cell. So it's not just the larger, but 50 trillion cells, like those mini suns turned up and on. And that you can remember right now and in your life, and as you go about your day, this essence of namaste. The light in me sees the light in you and knows that we are one. May we remember this light, this love, this luminous essence that we are. Namaste to you, sweet friends. I see you. I see your light. Thank you for allowing it to shine. Thank you, thank you. May this light then go and nourish those close to you and those in the distance and those that you are yet to meet. I wish you well. Namaste. Thank you so, so much for your beautiful practice here with me today.